Hollywood dazzles the world with its lights, stars, and fairy tales of fame, but behind the curtain lies a darker truth. Some of the biggest icons to ever grace the silver screen ended their lives with little to show for their success. Despite global fame, critical acclaim, and millions earned, they died in debt, forgotten by the industry they once ruled. These are not just tales of tragedy, they are wake-up calls about how fleeting stardom can be. So hit that like button, subscribe, and join us as we uncover the haunting realities behind 10 legendary celebrities who left this world with empty pockets. Number 1. Mickey Rooney. The boy wonder's financial fall once hailed as the most bankable actor in the world. Mickey Rooney's career spanned 9 decades. He starred in over 300 films and worked with Hollywood's finest. At the height of his fame, he was earning millions, but bad financial decisions, manipulative relationships, and elder abuse stripped him of his wealth. He married 8 times and was often swindled by those closest to him. Even his own stepson was accused of draining his accounts. Rooney testified before Congress about elder financial abuse in a desperate bid to expose the truth. When he died in 2014, he had just a few $1,000s to his name. One of the last surviving actors of Hollywood's golden age, he died without the respect or riches he deserved.
The movie was Broadway to Hollywood. And you guessed it, it was a musical.
Number 2. Errol Flynn, swashbuckler in Dead Errol.
You're a strange man.
Strange? Because I can feel for beaten, helpless people?
No, you're strange because you want to do something about it. You're willing to risk your own life. And one of those men was a Norman.
Norman or Saxon? What's that matter? It's injustice I hate, not the Normans.
But it's lost you your rank, your lands. It's made you a hunted outlaw when you might have lived in comfort and security. What's your reward for all this?
Reward? Just don't understand, really.
Flynn embodied the spirit of adventure, famous for roles in Captain Blood and The Adventures. Of Robin Hood, he was adored for his charm and athletic prowess. Yet his off-screen life was one of reckless indulgence. Extravagant parties, womanizing, alcohol, and legal troubles haunted his career. In 1943, he faced a highly publicized trial for assault. Though acquitted, the ordeal damaged his image permanently. Flynn's lifestyle outpaced his earnings. He took increasingly lower-paying roles just to survive. By the time he died of a heart attack in 1959, aged 50, his estate was worth only $10,000. A fallen icon of Hollywood excess. Number 3. Barbara Payton, From Starlet to Shadows. Barbara Payton was Hollywood's blonde bombshell of the 1950s. With roles alongside Gary Cooper and James Cagney, she was poised for greatness. But scandals involving love triangles, arrests, and addiction derailed her quickly. Her fall from grace was swift and brutal, stripped of roles, reputation, and dignity. She turned to prostitution to survive. She wrote a brutally honest autobiography that revealed her struggles with substance abuse and exploitation. When she died in 1967 at just 39 years old, she was living with her parents, suffering from liver failure and penniless. Her life serves as a chilling reminder of how fame can turn to infamy overnight. Number 4. Marie Prevost, From Silent Star to Silent Death.
There's one of the finest little weenies that ever graced a paper plate. It's a little shrivel from old age, but of course you can't have everything.
Marie Prevost lit up the silent film era. Known for her comedic timing and beauty, she starred in dozens of successful films during the 1920s. But with the rise of talkies, her career crumbled. Studios dropped her, and she fell into depression and alcoholism. Her downward spiral was intensified by the death of her mother and a bitter divorce. She became a recluse, battling poverty in a dingy Los Angeles apartment. In 1937, she was found dead of malnutrition and acute alcoholism, with only $300 to her name. The industry that once celebrated her never looked back. Number 5. Corey Haim. Teen Idol, tragic ending.
Yeah,
That's my f***ing wife.
Yeah, so what, you back her up all the f***ing time?
Yes, I back her up all the f***ing time.
Because you're a child and you need somebody to train you.
that right,
That's
sis?
what you need. We're a team, okay?
team?
Yeah, a team.
Okay.
You don't have a team, so you don't understand.
Why are you such a f***ing bitch?
Hey!
Look.
What the f***? Do not...
Corey Haim became a household name in the 1980s thanks to hit films like The Lost Boys and Lucas. Beloved for his charm and charisma, he seemed destined for a long career. But fame at a young age brought overwhelming pressure. Haim battled addiction for years, and his finances disintegrated. He filed for bankruptcy, revealing just $100 in cash and a few items of clothing. Exploited by agents and isolated from the industry that once adored him, Haim tried to make a comeback in the 2000s but struggled to regain traction. When he died in 2010 at age 38, his death was a quiet tragedy, a young star devoured by a system that profits from youth and discards the broken. Number 6, Dorothy Dandridge, barriers broken, but not her chains.
Do you think I do?
What do you expect me to think? Why don't you tell me?
You think what you want. That don't account to no man.
Dorothy Dandridge made history as the first black woman nominated for a Best Actress Oscar for Carmen Jones. She was elegance personified and an icon of progress. Yet Hollywood offered her limited roles and little financial security. Despite her talent, she was constantly underpaid and typecast. Failed marriages, financial mismanagement, and a mounting tax burden led her to bankruptcy. She lost custody of her disabled daughter and spiraled into depression. In 1965, Dandridge died from a likely overdose. She had just 24 cents in her bank account. Her story is one of triumph and tragedy, a groundbreaking figure who died broke and alone. Number 7, Sammy Davis Jr., king of the stage, slave to debts. Member of the legendary Rat Pack, Sammy Davis Jr. was a trailblazing entertainer who broke racial barriers and thrilled audiences around the world. But his private life was marked by compulsive spending, gambling, and staggering tax debts. Despite earning millions, Davis owed the IRS over $7 million. He sold off properties and possessions and continued performing until the end, even while battling throat cancer. When he died in 1990 at 64, his estate was $5.2 million in debt. A man who gave everything to showbiz and got little peace in return. Number 8, Veronica Lake, glamour to ghost.
There's more jams than the dead end kid.
That's for talking about decent people. A little reform wouldn't do you any harm. As a matter of fact, I think it would do the state good if somebody'd reform you. Right out of existence. Get out of my way, you cheap crook.
Known for her iconic peekaboo hairstyle and sultry screen presence, Veronica Lake was a symbol of 1940s glamour. But behind the screen persona was a troubled woman battling alcoholism and mental illness. By the 1950s, her career had faded. Bankrupt and forgotten, she reportedly worked as a waitress to survive. In her later years, she wrote an autobiography trying to reclaim her story, but Hollywood had moved on. Lake died in 1973 at the age of 50 from kidney failure, leaving behind just a few personal belongings. The icon of mystery left us in silence. Number 9, Bela Lugosi, Dracula's real-life nightmare.
This is very old wine. I hope you will like it.
Aren't you drinking?
I never drink. Why?
Well,
Bela Lugosi defined horror with his unforgettable portrayal of Dracula, but that success became a curse. Typecast and discarded by studios, he struggled for work. To cope with chronic pain, he turned to morphine, which led to full-blown addiction. Roles became rare and humiliatingly low budget. In 1955, he filed for bankruptcy, listing only $1,900 in assets. Frank Sinatra paid for his funeral. Lugosi died in 1956, broke and largely forgotten, except for his eternal role as the Prince of Darkness, a man haunted not by monsters, but by the very fame that made him. Number 10, Dennis Hopper, Maverick to Misery.
The landing field is set up. The SWAT team has surfaced itself today as have all of the patrolmen who helped lead the bus out of the city. Potentially a disastrous situation, and it's definitely been diffused to some extent. There are still a number of lives.
Dennis Hopper burst onto the scene with Easy Rider, changing American cinema forever. He was known for his rebellious spirit, both on and off screen, but his erratic behavior, addiction, and turbulent relationships ruined his financial standing. Hopper made comebacks in the 1980s and 90s with hits like Blue Velvet and Speed, yet legal battles and multiple divorces kept him in constant financial trouble. When he died in 2010, Hopper was still embroiled in court over alimony and property. Though respected as a cultural icon, he left behind significant debts. A man of immense creativity undone by chaos. These stars lit up the world with their talent, but behind the fame was pain, debt, and abandonment. Their stories aren't just sad endings. They're stark reminders that in the world of Hollywood, fame is fragile and fortune fleeting. For every red carpet moment, there's a darker chapter few ever see. If these stories moved you, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay with us for more untold truths from Hollywood's golden age. Because behind the glitz, there's always a story worth telling.